Good afternoon, everyone. It's Saturday, October 19th. Guess where we are? We are on Blue Mountain Drive, heading north towards Blue Mountain yet again. Some of you may have seen the video I posted yesterday about, I think I titled it Leaf Peeping Letdown. Storm blew through the Lehigh Valley over the past couple of days and blew most of the color off the trees. So why are we doing this ride again? Well, I just finished my grocery shopping for the week, and I got another case of wanderlust. So I started heading up here towards Blue Mountain just on the off chance that there might be something to see. And I could tell from afar that the mountain is looking a lot more colorful than it was the same time last week. We have a little bit of blue skies today, which helps. I know when I drove up here last Saturday, we had pretty gray skies. We have very similar clouds moving in again. So I'm going to just do a quick drive up and over the mountain and back. I'm not going to stop at the Vista. I'd like to, but I got a lot of frozen food in the back of the truck. I'd like to get that home before it all melts. More importantly, I'd like to have dinner. I'm pretty hungry, and I feel like I bought half the store. You know what they say about never shopping when you're hungry. By the way, I love that yellow Z28. Every time I go past here, that was one of my childhood dream cars. I actually built a model of that car, that exact same color, with those same decals. Because I built it as a kid. Guess what? It didn't come out so good. I think I actually have another unbuilt kit of that car. Anyway, model cars, that's another subject for another time. I do have a video of the Super September show in Boyertown, Pennsylvania that I filmed last month. You could check that out. We are now in the town of Danielsville. You probably recognize this. And we're facing Blue Mountain. And guess what? It's actually looking pretty good up here. The crazy thing about the Lehigh Valley, I swear the weather changes by the mile. This northern part of the valley, you get a lot of ridges, a lot of little foothills up into the mountain. Of course, you get the mountain itself. And things do change, particularly with the elevation. You get into the higher elevations. Obviously, you get the cooler temperatures. In the fall, when you get the cooler temperatures, you start to get more color on the trees. And I do apologize. We're going to be going through the sun. Gosh, I hope not. We're going into the sun on another one of these stretches of road that makes my voice go kind of crazy because it's bumpy. We won't be going into the sun. We won't be going into the sun long. Heck, we're just about done with that now that I've done fumbling my words and I'm making this turn. The sun should be either behind us or alongside of us for most of the rest of the drive. So this is the base of Blue Mountain. We're climbing up it. It's definitely got more color on the leaves up here than it did last week. Does look like, a fair amount of leaves blew to the ground, but not as bad as down in the valley, what I showed you yesterday. Which actually is a little strange because you get into these higher elevations and you get more wind. So why we have more leaves on the trees up here than down there, I really couldn't tell you. But it's looking kind of pretty up here, and I'm just going to go with it. I had a bigger drive planned north of the mountain this morning. I didn't do it because I didn't think there was going to be anything really to see. Now I'm wishing I had done it. Perhaps there was something to see. I can tell, though, that the trees are looking more bare. I mean, I guess they probably look brighter now because there was more color to begin with. So, you can see up here that this is crossing the Appalachian Trail. There are a lot of bare branches. It just happens to be whatever leaves are left are pretty bright. When you get down in the valley, I don't think there was much color to begin with, and what color there was pretty much blew off. And we're going to do this same drive yet again when there's no leaves on the trees, because you're getting a little bit of a hint. I think this is the first time I'm including on video. Actually, it's the second time. I take it back. I drove this in the summer. Where you can see the vista. That's the Pocono Mountains we're looking towards. This is the same direction from that overlook that I did in last weekend's video. Gosh, look at that. This was worth it. I can wait a little bit extra for my dinner just to look at this. This is beautiful up here. This is my favorite time of year. For those of you not in this area, Pennsylvania gets the full 4 seasons. You know, we can be below 0 and windy in the winter with 3 feet of snow. Thankfully, not often, but we do spend most of our winters below freezing. We do get, you know, a couple of decent-sized snowstorms each year, along with a lot of little nuisance storms. We get a beautiful spring, but it's usually very rainy in the spring, so I feel like I never get to enjoy spring like I should. Our summers are absolutely miserable, unless you like the heat and humidity. I don't. We get a lot of high 80s, 90s. We even do break the 100 mark a couple of times a year. That's not the worst of it, though. The part I really freaking hate is the humidity. It's just suffocating. And Dennis 78382, I'm sure you're watching this. After the summer you had, you'd probably trade your Texas summer for a Pennsylvania summer in a heartbeat. And you know what? I don't blame you. It's still pretty hot up here, though. But fall, oh my gosh, fall is my favorite. The humidity goes away. The air is just so crisp and dry. It's just so refreshing. It's reinvigorating. I know a lot of people think of spring as the time that they come back to life. I don't know why. For me, it's the fall. And you may recognize some of these buildings here. When I was up on the summit of Blue Mountain last weekend, I was zooming in. I was showing you some of the roads. We're driving these roads now. These are the same roads that I highlighted in last weekend's video. And I'm going to turn around here. I mean, if we go right on this road, it does go to the covered bridge. I know you guys have seen that a couple of times now. And the problem is, if I go through it and back, it can be a little awkward to turn around yet again. So I'm just going to do the turnaround here. That was a little awkward too with that Y. It's kind of weird to have a Y like that in out in the middle of nowhere intersection, but that is what it is. All right, we're looking now. We are north of Blue Mountain, so this is the north face. This is the ski resort you're looking at ahead. You can see the areas with no trees. Those are the ski trails. You're probably asking yourself, do I like to ski? Yeah, not really. I've tried. I always wanted to like skiing. When I was a kid, I loved to watch skiing on television. I loved the Winter Olympics when you got to see that. I didn't get a chance to try it till I was an adult, and I don't know. I lose my nerve real easy. These slopes are really freaking steep. Like this little bunny slope at the bottom, yeah, I could do this all day. It's not worth the cost of admission, though. It's kind of weird here, though. You outgrow the bunny slope in about an hour. You know, you get the feel for it. You're like, okay, I'm ready to take on more. And then you go down the beginner's trail, and I can't think of the name of it, but it's just to the left of this road here. You just can't see it from the road. It's just beyond the trees to my left. And they mark it cracks me up, they mark it on their map as, you know, easy, beginner, you know, the little blue, I forget if it's a circle, square, but, and shoot, we are going to be going into the sun here for another couple of turns. Sorry about that. Can't make the sun move. I would if I could. But yeah, you get on what Blue Mountain considers to be the beginner trail, and oh my god, I don't know how I survived it, to be honest. It gets narrow, so it's hard to turn, for me at least, because I don't know what I'm doing, even though I've had a couple lessons. It's hard to turn, It gets narrow. There's other people on the trail. It tends to get, the snow here tends to get very icy. They usually make their own snow, and it just gets packed down, and it gets so slick and icy. And it's steeper than you would, well, I say it's steeper than you would think. Hopefully you can see from the video, this road we're climbing is pretty steep. Yeah, you probably hear the engine on the truck. This is what you're skiing, going downhill. And I don't know, it's something I really wanted to like. I like things that put you in motion. I love roller coasters, I love race cars, I love driving, I love planes, trains, boats, anything that moves. That's my thing. And you would think skiing goes right in with that, and no, it really doesn't. So it's a shame. I live a couple minutes from here. This is considered, the top resort in this area. There's not that many south of the Poconos, but this is the one that everybody comes to, and I live a couple minutes away, and I don't take advantage of it. To me, it's like the people who live near the beach and don't go to the beach. You're out of your bleeping mind. I wish I lived near the beach. I'd be there every day, and there's probably somebody out there living near a beach who couldn't care less about it, saying, gosh, I wish I lived up in the mountains. I'd go skiing every day. But anyway, I'm rambling. To each their own. On into the sun for another minute here. We're just gonna take this video back down to Danielsville again. I think you guys are probably getting a little sick of this road. But I'll put this video together. I'll post it either tonight or tomorrow morning. And I still have part 4 of that summer drive. I don't think there's anybody sitting out there counting the minutes till that one premieres, but I'll put that up midweek or something. I'm trying to space these out a little bit. I've alluded to in prior videos being pretty busy. This coming week's going to be really grueling with a couple projects that I have going on outside of work. My full-time job takes up most of my waking hours on most days, and then these other little projects are going to fill in the rest. I'm about 2 weeks away from getting one of them off my plate, though, which will be good. That'll give me some time to get out here and do some other things. These leaves up here, these colors will be gone by then. What I am wondering if it's going to happen, I didn't take you through the Lehigh Valley today, but as I was driving through the Lehigh Valley today, there's still a fair bit of green on the leaves, and green leaves on the trees. You know what I mean? It's possible we could get a second round if no more big storms come through and blow them off the trees. Who knows? We could get some opportunities down there still in a week or two, but anyway, I know some parts of the country don't get to see the colors like we do here, and like I said, it's my favorite time of year here. The change of the leaves is something I enjoy very much. Just for a couple of weeks, the world looks different. Everything's bright, beautiful. It changes every day, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But I'd say it's looking pretty good up here, but I'm heading back to the part that's not going to look so good, so I'm going to end the video. I'm going to say thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more, hopefully in the coming weeks. Thank you.